Bro. Who? Yes. There was a level 5 fire. So, so my friend that plays this game is wrong. I need more ammo.
He muttered, as if he hadn't just eaten an entire pizza an hour ago. The wife, now holding the frying pan, turned around.
Strong flashlight, guys.
She demanded. This is my meal. Don't even think about it. The sister, realizing she was clearly out of her depth, tried to make a quick exit. She grabbed her purse and made her way to the door, but not before the wife shot her a look so cold it felt like a punch to the gut. The husband didn't even acknowledge the sister as she rushed out the door. He was too busy rifling through the junk drawer in search of something, anything to eat. As the door slammed shut behind her, the elderly neighbor, still watching from across the street, leaned back in her chair, intent. She took a slow sip of her tea.
Ah, the honeymoon's over,
she said with a smirk.
Let's see how long they last now.
Later that night, the inevitable came, and it came with a ferocity that no one, least of all the couple, could have anticipated. The wife was sitting at the kitchen table. She was halfway through a bowl of leftover pasta. She slurped down the spaghetti, not even bothering to chew properly. Her eyes were distant, glazed over, consumed by this insatiable hunger that had long passed the point of normalcy. Then it happened. A low, gurgling noise erupted from deep within her. The sound was grotesque, like something was boiling inside her, just waiting to escape. Her body stiffened. For a moment, her eyes locked onto the plate in front of her, as if she thought it might save her. But it was too late. Her chest heaved, her face contorted in agony, and with a horrific, unearthly pop, her body exploded. It wasn't like a balloon popping, no, it was a full-on eruption. Flesh, blood, and half-digested pasta splattered across the room in every direction. The force was so powerful that the walls were splattered with pieces of her body, and the table was flipped over in the chaos. For a moment, there was only silence. Then the husband, who had been sitting across the table, froze. His eyes, wide and glassy, stared at the empty space where his wife had been. His mouth still open, his spoon hovering in midair, forgotten. He blinked twice, slowly processing what had just happened. He didn't scream. He didn't even flinch. He simply reached over, as though it was the most natural thing in the world, and took the bowl of pasta off the floor. He didn't even bother to check if it was safe. He didn't care. He ate it, shoveling the food into his mouth without pause, his eyes still locked on the empty space. As he chewed, he heard a strange gurgling sound. It was faint at first, then it grew louder. The gurgling turned into a deep, unsettling rumble. He looked down at his stomach, his eyes growing wide with realization. His breathing became shallow, his fingers tightening around the bowl. The rumbling grew louder, more insistent. He could feel it in his gut. The pressure building, the boiling heat. It was coming for him. He knew it was coming for him. In a final, desperate attempt, he shoved the last of the pasta into his mouth, chewing like a man who thought he could outrun death with carbs. He chewed faster, more frantically. His eyes were wild, his breath ragged. The explosion was just as violent as the wife's. His body detonated with a force that sent pieces of him flying in every direction. The kitchen was destroyed in an instant. The walls, the ceiling, the counters, nothing was safe from the fallout. It was as though the entire house had been hit by a bomb. And in a way, it had. The room fell into silence once again. Across the street, the elderly neighbor, who had been watching from her kitchen window, didn't know what to do. She'd been spying on them for weeks, those strange, hungry people across the way. She'd seen their odd behaviors, their constant trips to the fridge. But this was something else. Her hands started shaking. Did she really just see that? 2 people explode? She took a few steps backwards, clutching her chest. Her mind raced, trying to convince herself that what she saw was just a trick of the light, or maybe it was just her age catching up to her. Dementia? No, she had seen it with her own eyes. The horror, the explosions. She grabbed the phone, dialing the police with shaking hands. As she relayed the bizarre circumstances she witnessed to the dispatcher, the anomaly was pinged by the Foundation, who was always watching and always listening. By the time the emergency responders arrived, the scene had already been secured by the Foundation. Their agents had already disguised themselves as paramedics, moving quickly and efficiently, as if this was just another day at the office. They swept through the house, carefully taking photos and collecting evidence from the remnants of the explosion. Samples were taken, blood and tissue analyzed, the walls and floor scanned for signs of anything unusual. They moved with a precision that was almost surgical, as if the horror they were witnessing was just another puzzle to solve. By the next morning, photos of the incident had been leaked to the national media. The coverage was everywhere. 2 people just poof, gone. No warning, no reason. Some reporters claimed it was a freak accident. Others suggested it was some sort of serial killer on the loose. Regardless of the context, the public couldn't stop talking. About it. People speculated, hypothesized, and made up stories. They needed answers. The Foundation tried to control the narrative, but the only thing they could do was plant seeds of doubt that these apparent cases of spontaneous human combustion were nothing but a hoax. SCP-081 is a delightful little virus that turns your unhealthy eating habits into a literal explosive event. This virus, which can be spread by rats, intimate contact, or even infected blood, gets to work by hijacking your fat cells and immune system. Its goal? To make you eat everything in sight, until your body reaches a point where you explode in a fiery, uncontrollable burst. Until your body reaches a point where you explode in a fiery, uncontrollable burst of internal combustion. The virus progresses in 4 stages. First, you start off feeling a bit fatigued, like you've just had a rough week, but nothing too alarming. Then, in the second stage, your body starts to get hot, really hot. Hot flashes hit you like you're in the middle of a heat wave, and you develop an insatiable hunger. You can't stop eating. By the third stage, you're consuming food like there's no tomorrow, and no matter how much you eat, the hunger never goes away. Your body's metabolism slows to a crawl as you gain weight faster than you can count your calories. Finally, in stage 4, your body reaches 55% body fat. That's when the real fun begins. At this point, you'll be so full, so bloated, and yet still hungry, that your body will start to turn on itself and will spontaneously combust. The explosion is violent, fiery, and a little too much like a bad cooking experiment gone wrong. SCP-081 first gained attention after a series of spontaneous combustion cases in the early 20th century, with the infamous incident involving Mary Reeser in 1951. However, it turns out this virus isn't a new phenomenon. It's been around since 1763, possibly even longer, and most of those earlier mysterious, spontaneous combustion incidents can likely be chalked up to this virus. It wasn't until the 20th century, with increasing access to food and a drop in malnutrition, that SCP-081 cases skyrocketed. The virus's spread and infection rate are higher in modern times, particularly in places like North America, where the average person is more likely to be well-fed and overfed. SCP-081 is now classified as a Euclid hazardous pathogen, though the real kicker is that the virus only affects those with a particular genetic predisposition to fat accumulation. So, in the grand scheme of things, the lesson is, next time you're about to chow down on that second plate of lasagna, think twice. You might just go out with a bang, and not the kind you're hoping for. Oh, and for the diabetics out there, congrats, you are immune. Not that it really helps anyone else when they're literally bursting at the seams.
Ami, diabetes ako. It's day 13. No spaceship.
Asa cellphone mo? May magchat-chat dyan, may magta-text dyan, anak. May magta-text dyan, pas mo muna.